Okay, so in this video I will talk about the update preview that happened 2 weeks ago with some of the insights of the currently released things from this and some of the upcoming things. I haven't actually watched this, so I'm kind of excited to see what else there is, but I know some of the stuff already. And as I said, some has been released. I'll review that and yeah, let's see what's Malvik for us. So this is Raz. We already know that. Um, don't think there's really much to say about him. There are a bunch of missions that we have to do. It's gonna take a while to get them, and yeah, you can get them free triple S just from doing the missions. You get 20 of the light friendship boxes to get him to, like to get the molars from plus 15ing him and the expressions. Then we'll get 25 of each epic charm, which is obviously super nice because you can never have enough charms, especially right side. So he's a light knight. He has 6.6k base HP, 99 base speed, and for some reason 12 YAR, which I don't really understand because, as you'll see in this kit soon. So yeah, this is S3, got his judgment, active skill, 4-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies with divinity and penetrates the target's defense, so he's full defense pen, AoE. Damage dealt increases proportional to the castle's max health. So he's HP scaling bruiser. Damage dealt increases with fewer enemies, just to finish them off basically, I guess. Or if you nuked something before him. At the start of the first battle grants Sacred Covenant for 5 turns. Sacred Covenant, underspell level buff. Cannot be affected by any debuffs or some harmful effect. So basically like MLWAR, SSV. I assume you can't reset them. I mean, you can reset them, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see about that. Upon dying, revives with 100% health, which is obviously crazy strong. It's basically RB, except he does get the 100% CR push, but he's a HP scaling bruiser, so yeah. I think he will be used a lot in reverse cleaving and stuff like that. And anti-aggro. Says 2, Chains of Binding, 3-turn cooldown. After inflicting seal and disintegration on the enemy for 2 turns, attacks the enemy. So he heals before attacking. A critical hit will grant an extra turn. This is interesting because you basically want to build him on crit chance neck down. Just for maxing out the stats. Crit chance neck gives the highest gear score overall. And yeah, he's HP scaling bruiser, so you want it anyway. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's max health, as the other attack as well. Soulburn ignores ER. And yeah, also I forgot to mention this again. He is immune to debuffs, so the ER is a bit weird, but I mean, it's not the first time Smargate has some really weird base stats on the units, but yeah. Disintegration decreases max health by 25%. It's doubled when it's a hero, so basically you soulburn this, you seal them, and you reduce the health by 50%, and then you get to S3. The only thing this doesn't have is a strip, which I'm honestly really thankful for, because if he would also strip, that would just straight up be crazy. So you have to at least get rid of the immunity before you can seal. His S1, Holy Blade, attacks the enemy with the sword blast and increases combat readiness of the caster by 25%. He's gonna cycle pretty fast. Damage dealt again increases proportional to the caster's max health. So that's basically, and that's his artifact, night exclusive, a precious connection. It gives 10% health and 10 souls at the start of the turn, can only be activated twice. So he has basically his own book with 10% health on top. And, well, it only gives 10 souls at the start, but he can basically act as a Meru in a sense. And has a craziest 3 after that. Also, obviously reducing his cooldowns then in that sense, because he gains an extra turn. And yeah, I think he's gonna be really strong. I'm not sure how good he will be on Arena or Guild War defense. It's pretty hard to say. I have to say him in action for that, but I think generally speaking, it's gonna be really good. And that artifact could have use on other units as well. Like 10% health is insanely good, obviously, and then having a free soul burn. So yeah, and that a free hero for that, it's a really good kit in my opinion. So good job on that, Smilegate. Next up is Meru. You already have her. This unit is, in my opinion, completely broken. Uh, let's see. They don't show her kit here, but I mean, you've seen her on basically every single defense. I think she kind of brought the Hazeti meta back in a way. There are obviously ways around her, but her kit is absolutely crazy. I'm not gonna go into it because you've already seen it, but yeah, let's just see what else they have. Okay, let's see. Which system improvements would you like to see? Equipment presets, effectiveness. So this is the survey thing that they show. Equipment presets 1 by 24%. So they are going to give us a, in their words, better preset feature. Okay, so here it is. This thing, when I found out about that, I was so happy. Like, you can't believe it. This, in my opinion, this was the only change I ever really wanted in this game. Because in my head, this would allow me to gear my entire account for RTA. And then with one button press, like for example, I attack in Guild War. I do my 3 attacks. I change some pieces around, change some artifacts around. And in my head, with one button press, I could revert these changes back to my RTA stuff and play RTA because I mainly play Guild War and Arena, but I always wanted to get into RTA. But with the constant gear swapping, and it's basically only possible during free unequip, but it's so tedious and annoying that it just wasn't worth it for me, and I just enjoy group content more than the solo RTA. And RTA just it only gives you frames. I already have a top 3 arena frame. I don't really care about the frames, so it would just be a personal thing. And I would love to do it, but it's just not worth it with how expensive and tedious the regearing is. So I was so excited about this, but this turned out to be, in my opinion, the worst way to possibly implement it. I'm so disappointed by this. You can only revert 5 changes, and you can't even select them. You have to, if you want to, let's say, you want to only revert like the second or third. You can't do that. It's insanely stupid, and I hope they will fix this. This should not have these limitations that it has. Artifacts should not use up a separate slot for this. That's completely stupid. I don't know why we didn't just get, like, the idea of this is insanely good. It's probably, I mean, I would like to have normal presets as well, but the idea of this is super good. the issue is that the restrictions applied to it are, they just make it, in my opinion, unusable. You have to swap after every fight you do, basically, in Guild War, because you would use up too many slots if you do the entire Guild War, and that's just dumb. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why they went with this. I cannot fathom what went through their head doing this, but yeah. I genuinely pray they have a good foundation and they just need to make improvements on it. And please, please, please do this. It would help everyone so much. An unequip removal cost. I mean, this is amazing. This should have been in the game since I started 4.5 years ago. I don't know why it took so long, but it doesn't matter. It's here now. We're all happy about it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, there's not really much more to say. It's just, it was a long needed change. It's spending millions of gold to do some content was insanely. It was just demotivating to do there were days where I just didn't bother doing Hall of Trials just because this gear swapping would basically cost me more than the rewards that I would get out of it. And yeah, it's it kind of messes your entire account up because the regearing was so annoying, which remains a problem still, but at least it doesn't cost anything anymore. So yeah, thanks for that. Equipment management feature. This is actually something I didn't see yet, so I'm gonna check this out. Okay, so let's see. So this, I assume, is basically a way for new players or very casual players to instantly see if they should keep something or not. What I don't really understand looking at this here is it keeps this, this, and this, but it wants you to trash the completely max rolled freebies. I'm pretty sure these were almost max rolled. So if you actually follow this, you are trashing 3 of the best free. Wait, it's not telling you to kill the boots. Okay, I don't really understand how this is supposed to work. Maybe I'm stupid and just don't understand this, but it's telling me to kill this, which is obviously useful. But it's not, it's also telling me to kill 3 of the best pieces you will get, especially on a new account. So, uh, yeah, I'm not really sure what that's about, but I mean, if they can implement this in a way where new players or more casual players just have an easy way to sort their gear and know what to keep and what not. I think this is great. Obviously, I mean, there's nothing negative about it as long as it doesn't tell you to actually kill good pieces. Yeah. What else? Okay, this is obviously nice. It tells you what units to put your pieces on. There's I'm not really sure why it gives Breek an ER piece, but maybe I'm just not really seeing it. But I mean, if this is I assume they will implement this in a proper way, right? So this is obviously good. Or is this the one that they currently use? I'm not sure, but yeah, if I assume they are gonna implement this properly, so this is obviously really nice for, especially for again newer players or more casual players who aren't that invested. Team formation improvement. So we're removing the current shared team. We already have this. Okay, this again. I'm sure this was a nice idea in their head, but I have a huge issue only having 5 arena team slots, where I previously paid gold to have more, or Skystones, I think it was, to have more. 5 arena teams for someone who actively plays arena is a crazy low amount. You have way more teams than 5. I have to constantly swap units around because I only have 5 team slots. That I can't understand why they would remove or they would reduce this to 5 in arena. I really hope they change this again. Like I said, the idea of this is obviously cool. You load into the content, you have your team slots, and this works great for Trial of Constellation and everything else. But for Arena, this is terrible. Please, Smilegate, give us at least 10 Arena teams back. The Arena it takes a lot of time and with the swapping for absolutely no reason. Please, please give us 10 back. Spirit Altar now always available. I mean, yeah, again, this should have been a thing ages ago. This being locked on a daily basis is absolutely dumb, in my opinion. And yeah, thank you for changing this. Very good change. Don't think there's much to explain about this. It's just way better that you can always farm the runes you need. There were times where I didn't have small runes and I wanted to awaken a character, and I basically had to wait till weekend to awaken this character, which is yeah, it's just dumb. Game direction. So this is from the survey again. Okay, so they are just talking about most people want. I'm actually surprised about people wanting new equipment sets because there's a very likely chance that will be tied to a new mode, and you really, really don't want to farm a new mode. In my opinion, at least. Or in general, you don't really want a new set. Again, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. Higher grade equipment is also very weird to me. I think in general, the 66-star system is perfectly fine. Please never do 70 or 7-star. This is never good in any game I've played when they increase this. And I also don't like higher grade equipment in the sense of if this is what this means, that you would basically get I-95 or something like that. You would need a new enhancement currency. You would have to spend more gold, etc., etc. The stats would go completely out of control. I don't like it. Please, please don't do that. Okay, so there are 2 new sets apparently. Reversal set and Reposeti set. Or Repost set, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Reversal set consists of 4 pieces and increases speed by 15%. Over here. No. Upon death by an enemy attack, it greatly increases combat readiness upon. So, yeah, as they said, this is good for the new Raz, for any Holy Sack Knight for well. It's an interesting set. I don't think I will farm for it unless some of the units turn out to be completely broken. But, yeah, I mean, why not? The set has a 70% chance to counter attack when successfully evading. This is obviously gonna be really good on evasion heroes. Flan For Flan, it would be kind of crazy because she also stuns on hers one. And she basically has 100% evasion. So she always, whenever you miss her, she has a 70% chance to counter stun you, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, for other units as well, of course, MLV is just one hits really hard. All the counter units, basically. This seems best on slot, in my opinion. I'm not sure if I will farm this specifically, but it's definitely very interesting. I think it will be really annoying in Guild War to, if you see a unit like this, they can just counter you and maybe even win the game from there if you don't have immunity against Flame, for example. And we also make sure that upcoming, yeah, we've also seen this for Setsuka, I think is her name. She gains fighting spirit when she counters, so yeah. I guess they are. I don't really like that they are pushing counter and evasion so much. Uh, I think the game has way too much RNG already. Again, this is just my opinion, but I don't like the RNG. I like when the thing I press does what it's supposed to do and doesn't like. I don't want my attack to be a gamble if it hits or not. I just don't like it. That's again my opinion. It's not really playstyles that I personally like in games, but if this is the direction they want, I'm sure they have a vision for it and we'll be here for it, I guess. New equipment sets won't be obtained from Hunt like before. So there's a new mode. You can exchange Spectral Cores for the energy just 3 times a day. Or use 2 leaf for unlimited exchanges. That sounds insanely pay to win, I have to say. Because as a free to play, you get like no leaves. You you don't really you are not gonna use this or you're gonna save a year and you can maybe do 100 runs of this. It's exaggerated, but I don't think you really don't get a lot of leaves if you don't buy Burning Passion. Consumes a lot of energy. So if this is this supposed to be one run? I'm not sure, but if 160 energy gives me or has the chance of giving me, it seems to be an increased epic chance as well. So if this isn't just, I don't want to say false advertisement, but if this is the actual drop rate where you get at least half epics, I think it's insanely good value. You don't get this many epics normally if you spend 160 energy or 4 rift runs. And this apparently drops the 2 new sets only, this mode. So, yeah. I guess if you want this set, you have to farm this. Oh, well, yeah, it's basically the same as regular epic equipment. But it drops without integer base stats. So this is obviously insanely good. This is basically like the new gear packs. They are essentially always high rolled in a sense because they can't have flat stats. And this should make gearing a lot easier. I think this is a good change, obviously. I'm just a bit concerned that it's gonna make the gap between free to play and paying customers, gear wise at least, insanely big in a small amount of time. The difference between a Burning Passion buyer and a free to play is gonna be absolutely massive in a rather short amount of time, in my opinion. Within the higher range as well, which is also. So I assume higher range just means above average then, which would be really big. Because everyone hates min rolling. Yeah, of course it won't have higher stats than existing, but it will just roll higher on average, which is everything we want. The maximum value is the same as expected. It won't have higher stat base, which would be stupid. If you would gate higher base stats or maxed out stats on a quote unquote pay to win mode. It's not really pay to win, obviously, but like I said, if you can just spend money on it, you will have infinitely more of these pieces. Apparently, you can't use sky stones for it, which is kind of weird. But so you actually are forced to buy burning passion. That's the message here. Because we're adding an otherworldly difficulty to the existing hunt, so this applies to hunt as well. Happy wife and farming on otherworldly difficulty. Update is scheduled for September 11th, so this is pretty soon actually, in 2 weeks then. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I really am. I just hope it's implemented well and doesn't actually increase the gap of free to play and pay to win or pay customers by too much. Yeah, it's much lower to get shit rolled. Obviously, you want to farm this if you can avoid it. Yeah, we already have this um, energy limit to 360. I think it is. It's amazing. You only have to, if you don't have time for more, you can just spend all your energy in the morning, and you can do it on the next day. You don't have to log in multiple times a day. This is great. More charm events. More charms are always appreciated. That's, yeah, good change, of course. It will be much easier to gear with this around. Selling equipment, that's all this stuff. I don't think I have to go over this. What else is there left? Feedback labyrinth and trial of constellation. I think trials is fine. The only issue with trials, in my opinion, is the pet. If you don't have the S skill of the additional coin drops, you are missing out on one of the 750 currency pieces per month, which sucks because there is no pity on getting this. My guildmate KHM bought out the pet skill packs twice, which is 80 euro, and he still doesn't have the skill. And this should not be a thing. Please don't keep this. Please give us a pity or something. It's insanely. I don't have it either. I did my trial and I basically missed out on a piece. I could still buy it because I had some leftover from the beta thing, but yeah, please give us a pity or something. This feels insanely discouraging to do. Um, this I'm not gonna go over. This is just feedback. 15%. We already know they won't do anything about it. What do they have here? In October, we'll be at introducing a new story content called Phantasmal Barrier. Along with the Guild War tournament where the top 32 guilds will compete. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I hope they implement this well. We need something to... basically, I'd like it to be separate. What would be really cool, in my opinion, is if it's timed. The moment you load in, you only have, let's say, an hour or 30 minutes to do your attacks. Let's say an hour, because 30 minutes for 3 attacks is a bit rough when you're under pressure and have to think. But I don't really like this being 24 hours. And it will just turn into this constant comp checking and everything. In my opinion, it should be... You should obviously be able to help your guildmates, but a lot of current Guild War is also... It doesn't really matter if you have individually good players, because guilds just have 3 people comp checking the other 27 and doing exactly what they say to do, which I think is kind of... I don't know. I don't like it. It's obviously... It's great that people want to do that, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just not what I personally like. I think having 30 good players is much more interesting, who are individually good and have to do their own thing, would be way cooler than just a few people basically telling everyone what to do. It should obviously be a team-based thing, but I like it to be maybe put some time pressure on it, so you can't just comp check every single person. And also they obviously need to implement something about full clearing. For example, if 2 guilds full clear each other, both have 2 draws, which is still both full clear, there needs to be like a system where the guild who lost the most units on their attacks loses. Because I don't really know how else this will go. In this game, this is also something I'd like to have changed in general. Non-impact draws, in my opinion, are stupid. I don't like that you can draw twice on a building and it basically only counts as 1 draw. I think, in my opinion, every single draw should count. Not that there shouldn't be a free draw, but I mean, maybe that's just me. It's completely fine if people disagree with that. But I'm kind of getting sidetracked here. Guild War tournament, yeah, I'm excited for it. I hope they implement it well. Cook something up, Smilegate. We didn't get it for last season, which was already really sad because most guilds went really hard on this. And now for this season, they are burned out from last season. And the season where the tournament is, it feels easier because guilds are just burned out. And for us, it's kind of an advantage because we don't comp check. So we just don't burn out in that sense. And that's probably why we are higher ranked this season. Okay, moving on. In November, we'll have a new PvE content called Monolith Showdown. I mean, new content is always welcome. We don't get much content, so anything that's fun would be great. And in December, following the 6th World episode, we'll be releasing a new episode. That's also always good. People love story. I think they do. Can never have enough. Progressing the story, I think, is always important in games. So yeah, there's a lot in this update. I'm glad that they have a lot planned for the end of this year. Is this everything then? I'll just look at this here. Super Cake event, we already have this. You can see it in game. Gives free stuff. Currency acquisition improvements. It's obviously always welcome. Coin drop rotation improvements. We we hopefully get um, it in the way that you can always buy at least units from, let's say, half a year ago or a year ago. I don't really care. But you can always buy these. That would be great. Hero popularity poll, not really offline event. Birthday showcase gifts. You already see those in game. Master please plan. Thank you, Lata. And yeah, I think I went over everything. And gave my thoughts to most of the things we have and what we are gonna get in the future. Hope you enjoyed it and found it somewhat helpful. And yeah, next will be Guild War video again. Don't worry. This is for the content creator mission. So yeah, thanks for watching and bye.